Today we are going to compare a low lofted driver against a high lofted driver. So exactly the same driver in the form of the Callaway Paradigm AI Smoker, top performer this year, but we're going to compare the two lofts, 8-degree loft against a 12.5-degree loft. We're going to be looking at launch angle, spin rate, the carry, the total and the side as well, okay, and going to try and determine which one might be best for your game. Okay, so quite excited to do this today really. First of all, we are going to start off with our 8-degree driver. Okay, so we would expect it low obviously, and then obviously we're going to hit 5 with this and then 5 with the 12.5. So again, I do like this driver, which is why I've chose it, because I think it's been a really good performer. Let's kick things off. Really good hit. Yeah, I love that one. So again, looking at some of the key numbers there, 13-degree launch, quite a low spin number there, 2000, height 88 feet, decent carry and total. Again, we're just sort of keeping an eye on these just to see what the sort of key differences are. Yeah, see how low that came out. Very low launch. Low launch there at 8.6. Low spin 1900. And then again, what you'll see again, this is so important that, you know, when you do have that low launching driver, you can see the carry's quite a bit down there. You know, for me, that's way too short. You know, I'd expect 265, 270 carry really, and that's too low. Again, getting that loft is so important for you. And again, what we see in a lot of drivers is that as you take loft off, it would typically open the club face. Okay, so you can see that one there that's sort of pushed out to the right there. So we can use that to our advantage when we are fitting people for both, you know, guys that tend to pull it or push it, slice it. Again, you know, you see that low launch angle, you know, even though it's decent ball speed, low launch angle, low spin, low height. So, you know, again, big factors when you are looking at this. What type of course do you play? If you do play on the links, on a windy golf course, you might want a low lofted club. But if you're on a parkland, you might think about something potentially a bit higher. Let's hit one more. Again, pushed out right. So for me there, actually the first shot in particular was great, but then after that, you know, it went downhill really. Very low, couple out to the right. And again, what we are going to be looking at is that launch, spin and height. You see that last one there, spin way too low there at 1600. Okay, so let's move in to our polar opposite. We're going to go for a 12.5-degree driver, so 4.5 degrees higher this time. Okay, so exactly the same driver, the Paradigm AI Spoke Max, but we're now into that 12.5 degree setting. Okay, so just to give you an idea, some key numbers there as we're hitting away. Average launch angle on the low launch was 11 degrees, average spin 1800, average height 67 feet, and then carry 249, total 289. So reasonable total distance, but obviously it's coming out really low. Not a great carry, not a great launch, and not a great spin rate. Okay, again, just even there, you know, is that set to that higher loft, it does feel a little bit more closed. So you slicers out there, you know, it's definitely going to help. And as you'd expect, I can clearly see a lot more loft in it as well. Let's see how this performs. Okay, so straight away, overall height a lot higher there, 103 feet. Spin's gone up a touch, 2,100. Launch has gone up there, 15.7. So more like the numbers we're used to seeing. Obviously it went a bit left. Again, partly the face being closed because of the higher loft. That felt good. Yeah, nice shot. Really good height, you know, a lot of height there, more spin, more launch. So, you know, again, hopefully this gets you thinking about your game and perhaps, you know, how big an impact the loft has on the overall flight. You know, and as we know, we're all different, and it's different for every player. And you know, whatever works, and getting the right one is so important. Yeah, again, huge difference. You know, it really is. You know, it plays such a factor. I actually, even though looks like I'm swinging a touch slower here, but it's the difference in carry there is unbelievable, really. Okay, a couple more. Let's just go a little bit quicker now. I just pulled it. Yeah, so still got the height, but you know, again, I think because of the extra loft there, that face is pointing a touch left. Okay, let's just hit one more. Quite interested to sort of see the differences here. I can definitely feel the differences. Yeah, so really interesting. It just highlights the importance of the loft and the role it plays on the spin, the height, the carry and the total, but also the direction as well. That's a big one. And for me there, you know, I don't like to see that miss left. So as soon as I get more loft in my hands, I feel like I am fighting that left miss. But let's have a look. Let's see if see the sort of key differences there. So first of all, in that dispersion. So yeah, interesting, on both clubs, there's two shots on the middle of the fairway, but then there's a definite pattern. The low lofted club, the misses out to the right, the high lofted club, the misses to the left. Again, they're total. So if we just go to the carry, quite a difference, isn't there, in the carry there. In the white dots, you can see that carry's quite low. With the high loft, it's obviously much further up. So into the all-important numbers, again, we are going to see quite a big difference here. So the first thing that we won't see that much of a difference in is the club speed and the ball speed. That's not, the loft isn't going to impact that. But launch, low loft 11 degrees, the high loft 14.9 degrees, spin 1800, nearly 2.5 with the higher loft. So obviously higher spin with the higher loft. Big difference here in the height, 67 feet compared to 109 feet. That's huge, you know, that's nearly twice the height really. And then carry 249 compared to nearly 265. So carrying it 15 yards further with the higher loft. But as we're seeing there, the overall total very similar, 289 to 288, so barely any difference. So I think, you know, dispersion wise, both very similar, plus or minus 77 feet and 79 feet. So I think dispersion is quite similar, but obviously the bias is more to the right with the low loft, more to the left with the higher loft. Quite interesting, guys. This should get you thinking about your own game. What is most important for you? How's the launch, the spin, the height, the carry, and most importantly, probably the side is going to play a big factor, whether you are a high lofted, whether you're low lofted, or maybe somewhere in the middle. Hope you found that interesting, guys. If there are any club reviews that you would like to see in the coming weeks, please drop me a comment down below. In the meantime, I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon.